Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking a little bit about the pond and also some new koi fish. So I'll go over that in a minute. That's a whole different story. But first off, you might notice that the pothos plant and the bamboo did die. I think just because of the cold, they just didn't do so hot. I'm going to be moving these rocks out of here because I don't need them anymore. And then we're going to introduce the new koi. So right now in the tank, there are currently 2 small goldfish, medium-sized goldfish, and like that big, in there because the other goldfish, the other 3 feeder goldfish, they died like right when I first introduced them, just because I think of the just the shock and then going through the temperature change. They lasted a few weeks, but then they just were on the decline. But these 2 have been pretty good. And then recently, while I was at my Petco, actually today, obviously recently, I was at Petco, you know, just looking around doing my thing, and I saw these 3 like 4-inch koi fish. And they looked really cool, and I'm like, oh, I'd really like to get some koi. That'd be awesome for the pond. But those guys are too big. So they're in like, you know, the 10-gallon sales tank. So they're in a tiny tank already. So I start talking to the Petco employee, and these guys, by the way, they look like they should be medium-sized koi, so they should be about $16 a piece. But they were being sold at $8 a piece just because my Petco doesn't have a koi tank. They don't have turtles, and they don't have koi. So their tanks aren't ready to handle koi. The tanks are too small, and the manager told me that whenever they get koi and their tanks are so small, the koi just don't do well because of their size. So he told me that I could have these 3 koi, which I fell in love with immediately, for $12 for all of them. So $12 gets me 3 koi, and I'm giving them a way bigger home than they had. He told me that from the vendors, they came from a 30-gallon pond. So this pond is bigger than where they grew up. So obviously this pond is not going to be okay for them for their entire lives. I'm not crazy. I know this, obviously. They're only going to be in here for a few months until I get a bigger pond or give them away to someone who has a bigger pond. This was just my way of, you know, I really want koi, and at least I can rescue them from a 10-gallon tank. And I got a really good deal on them. Obviously, like I said, they will not be in here forever. Don't freak out. This is not their forever home. They will be moved to at least a 100-gallon pond soon. But for now, this is going to be their home in here because this is the biggest place I have for them to land. And I think for $12, you know, I had to. I was just going to pay $8 and get one of them, but I felt so bad leaving them all behind. So I went ahead and just got all 3 for $12. So now let's go ahead and show you them. So we have this first guy right here. You can't see him too well, but he's kind of like the standard koi with the white orange on his head and some black. We're going to go ahead and start acclimating him to the pond right here. Next one is this guy right here, another white and black koi with some orange. And then the koi I was just going to buy on my own, and one of my favorite koi, this gold one. This guy right here I think is absolutely amazing. He looks like a massive goldfish. That's kind of what he is, but he looks so cool from the top down, and I think he's going to be an awesome pet. So I'm going to go ahead and let those guys float to acclimate, and then I'm going to go ahead and get them out. And we'll be back when they're out swimming in their new pond and see how they look. They obviously, I can already tell, they're going to like it in here so much better than they did that 10-gallon tank. Okay, so the koi are done acclimating right here. I do feel bad for them because they just got shipped to the store. They just arrived at the store today, and they're back in a bag again, so I'm going to go ahead and get them out. They've been sitting for like 30 minutes just because they were in warmer water than they're in now. This water is much colder than the water they were in, but they should adapt just fine. They've been floating for a while. So I'm just going to go ahead and get them out of their bags. Now, obviously, I would normally quarantine, but because these guys are such big fish, I don't have the quarantine space right now. Because there are only 2 other goldfish in this tank, I'm not too worried about it. But I'm going to go ahead and get the first guy out right here. This is the fat one with a little bit of orange, mostly white and black. I'm just going to go ahead and grab it out right here. There they are compared to my hand. So about 4 inches, not too big. Go ahead and let that one free into the water. Looking beautiful. Go ahead and take this out and grab the other one. So here's the next guy. Also, I did make a few more hiding spots for these bigger koi, kind of back over here, so they do have more places to hide. This is like my second favorite koi right here. I really, really like this guy with all his coloration right there, looking beautiful. You probably can't see him because the white looks a bit washed out, but we'll let him into the water. You can already tell stands out amazing against the black bottom. They are a bit cold, as I mentioned, and a little stressed out, so they'll probably sit at the bottom for a little bit before they swim around. The other one I can see already left. Oh no, he's over there now. Now we'll go ahead and get the last one out of here. Alright, and here's my last and favorite one. I also should mention these guys are pretty quality koi. Their coloration is great and their body shape is perfect. I've seen some koi at PetSmart where their body's like all disfigured and bent. There's my favorite one right there. Or their body's all disfigured and bent and just not looking good. But these guys, I can tell, look really nice. They're healthy and swimming around in the store, and I'm really excited to have them be part of the family in the pond. So that is it for this part of the video. We'll go ahead and check on them in a little bit and see how they're doing. But overall, I think they'll do amazing in here until they can get their upgrade. I know they're going to like their 100-gallon pond, but this one is much bigger than where they were, and I can already tell they're really going to enjoy it. I haven't had any issues with predators with the other goldfish, so I'm hoping that these guys will be okay. I'm really hoping that we don't have predators, because we did in the pond in our backyard when we had a few goldfish out there. Raccoons would always come, but I actually had one of these goldfish jump out of the pond, and I found him dead on the ground, so unfortunately that fish did die. But that was also good because it let me know that it sat there overnight and nothing came to eat it, so no one's going to be hunting these fish. That's a good thing. So we'll go ahead and check on them in a little bit. You can already tell they're super active and swimming around. That's always good. But we'll be back in a little bit. So it is a little while later, as you can probably tell. It's dark outside. This is from the flash on my camera. But these koi are doing much better in here than they were in their little tiny Petco tank. I'm really enjoying these guys, and I think they make the pond look so much better. I think they're going to do amazing in this pond until I can get them into a bigger tank. But so far, they're doing great. They are a little bit sluggish just because the water is cold. But obviously, with time, as it warms up, they will be good to go. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.